420, 420, for 20 long years. I smoked lots of reefer and drank lots of beer. Every day at 420, we're gonna settle the score. And for 20 long years, it's been 20 past 4.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Want to hit 420 Live, Jeff Kravitz. We're starting the week off on the right foot. Monday. We are smoking some delicious purple punch. I suggest you light something up. Mendocino Grasslands. We want to thank our friends from Mendocino Grasslands for sending some delicious flavor to us. The purple punch is absolutely phenomenal. It's not too heavy. It's a nice, light, delicious flavor. It's like eating grapes. So punch it up, folks. Here we go. You got one vaccinated Kravitz here. I'm vaccinated already. Just like that, on April 1st, they opened up vaccinations for people 50 and over, and me being a spry young 50 years old, I went and signed up for, or had my wife sign me up for the vaccination at Cedars-Sinai, which is actually the Beverly Center's parking lot. You drive in, you get your shot, you drive out. It was easy peasy. I got the Johnson & Johnson, one shot, and you're done. I am now a living biological medical nightmare. You will watch me turn into a zombie right here live on 420 Live. Jeff Kravitz turns into a zombie. Yes. Well, you know, I have to play the game because I want to get back to work. I'm getting back to work really soon. I'm happy to announce that I am working with the folks at Triller. We're getting ready for a big fight coming up on the 17th of April with Jake Paul. And it's an amazing event the way it looks, at least on paper. I'm hoping it's a great live. I'm excited to work with my friends Malia and Bert over there at Triller and Mr. Kavanaugh and Snoop. This is Snoop's company. So Snoop's going to be breaking out his new act, Westmore, yes. With Snoop and Ice Cube and EA40 and I think Young Thug, right? Or YT, something like that. It's hard for me to keep all the rappers straight, you know. When I'm listening to them, I could break them apart pretty good when I'm listening to them. But when I'm talking about their names and stuff, they all get confused in my head. I mean, I know who Snoop is, of course. So we're excited to be going down to Atlanta with the folks from Triller. You know, it's nice to have the vaccination in and not be worried about it. I'll be full 2 weeks vaccinated. Are you guys vaccinated? Are you afraid? Are you worried about turning into a brain-eating zombie? You know, there's worse things to be than a zombie, that's for sure. You know, sitting on the couch while the world goes to party this summer is not going to be my cup of tea. They're saying we're going to be at herd immunity. Now everybody's going to be vaccinated by the beginning of June now. 4 million a day this weekend, breaking the record every week, coming at you, just like knocking it out. Boom, boom, boom. We're not afraid to vaccinate. We're ready to move on. Everybody's getting it done. Darren Jones with his second on 420. There you go. There you go. It's so apropos, you know, getting your second dose on a day when we'll all be dosing. But, you know, as a deadhead, I'm not adverse to dosing. I like the dose. And I've got my one dose J&J because I didn't want to have to drag this out and wait a month. You know, they gave you an option when you checked in. What kind of vaccine do you want? And I was like, I want the vaccine that doesn't hurt that much. And, you know, going in, there was a little bit of pain when she started pushing the trigger down, but that needle's so thin you don't even feel it. And it's like that far inside your arm. And you're like, uh-oh, just push down on that. And I felt the heat come in. And then I was a little sore. I napped a lot, but it could be because I was smoking all this Mendocino Grasslands this weekend. This bud right here, the Fatso, you know, I smoked a hit of this last night and it one bong hit. And then all of a sudden the whole house is like, what the hell is going on in there? The stink is here, the Mendocino Grasslands. And they sent me everything, a little bit of flour, a little bit of concentrate, and we're going to be talking to the folks from Mendocino. Is that upside down? Yeah. Mendocino. This is ice cream cake. This is also tasty. We'll be talking to our Grasslands friends on the show, I believe, on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we're going to have phenomenal drummer Clem Burke. If you know Clem Burke, he's a legend. Clem was in Blondie. still in Blondie. One of the only original, I think there's two original guys from Jim and Clem might be the two original guys from the original Blondie that still tour with Blondie when she gets back on the road. It's all happening, folks. I talked to my friend Ryan Stacy today. A beautiful version of Doom Flamingo put out of Touch of Grey that was out this past weekend for this Jerry, where people did different covers of Dead songs, and really nice. And I was talking to Ryan today, and he's getting ready to go out this weekend with the boys from Humphreys down to Sewanee Rising with Goose. And, we're getting back together. I love the fact that they're having these shows, these driving shows. I'm just kind of pissed off that none of them are happening in California. We have the weather. We have the places to do the everything's in Connecticut, and Connecticut, it's not that warm yet. Come on. We got it all here in California. It's time to start doing these socially distant shows here in California. I am ready to kick it up and see some music. And, I'll be going down to Atlanta on the 14th. That'll be my first vaccinated flight, and I'm looking forward to that. And as you know, today was the 27th anniversary of us losing the phenomenal Kurt Cobain. Kurt came on the scene in the early 90s and just took the world by storm with their first record. And the song Smells Like Teen Spirit was heard by everybody on the planet. Everybody knew it. I love the dynamics of the song, the quiet parts turning into the loud parts, just rocking, wild abandon, and that cool video shot in the gym, all dark and moody, and him in that red and black sweater, all grunged up. I mean, grunge was the shit. It came on the planet, on my planet, in front of my camera. As I came here in the late 80s, I was still getting the hair bands like the Rat and the Motley Crue and, all Warrant, Janie Lane, Cherry Pie, all that shit. I was Pirate Radio. We were like the hair band station there, Pirate Radio. Kiss without the makeup on, which was really scary. Those days, it was crazy. But then all of a sudden, out of the Pacific Northwest, wham, bam, Pearl Jam 10, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, pow, both albums still in the top of my top 10 charts. I could listen. I know every word on all those records. I'm not going to sing them for you now. But it's two of my favorite records and amazing talents, and being on the scene and watching these bands come out of nowhere and just develop to where, everybody had to have them. MTV had to have them on. And, it wasn't the easiest thing to have to work with Nirvana because they wanted to do their own thing. But MTV was also stubborn, too, because they had their vision. Famous documentaries devoted to MTV and their tumultuous relationship with Nirvana. I was there for all of it. I saw it firsthand. My thing is catching these bands when they're doing specials and when they're doing when they're on MTV for the Video Music Awards and stuff like that. I'm not really going to concert halls every night to shoot the first three songs. It's not really where my wheelhouse. I prefer the whole show, or getting them doing one song at an amazing place like the Grammys or the VMAs or somewhere spectacular like that. And I've been very lucky over the years to come in contact with some of the finest bands in the land. And, I'm not going to keep everybody waiting. I know that today on my socials, I was talking about Kurt Cobain and also Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, who we lost 19 years ago. I didn't even realize Lane lived that long, but he was just like so wrapped up in drugs for those final years that he wasn't much of an effect on the scene or in the music scene. But Cobain, let's face it, legends, right? Okay, let me see. What's the best way to there it is. Boom. All right. So, Kurt, let me start. Let's start at the beginning. Let me rack these up instead of the end here. Because, at 420 Live, we are one of the most organized shows on the planet. I always have everything ready. There's never any technical difficulties. My guests, it's all seamless. But, from what I could see from my pictures, there was the performance at Pauley Pavilion with with Nirvana. Here is Kurt singing Smells Like Teen Spirit. And then at the end of the song, he totally trashed everything on stage, just ruined everything in one song and ruined it. The backstory here is that Kurt didn't want to play Smells Like Teen Spirit. This is a famous story, but we're all in the house, and he goes up there and he rehearses Rape Me, and which is a phenomenal song. And the executives from MTV are like, what? And they start pulling their hair out. And there's all these meetings, and Danny Goldberg from, the management, the label, everybody's there, and they're all, you can see the steam coming out of the ears of the MTV executives as Kurt's up there playing Rape Me. And they're like, wait, he can't play Rape Me. Everybody wants to hear Smells Like Teen Spirit. And, in all fairness, MTV was kind of right. This is, their big song of the year. This is the VMAs. We kind of want to hear the new song. In retrospect, maybe they should have let Kurt do what he wanted to do, because Rape Me ended up being a great song too, and an amazing statement on how he felt at that point in his career. So, watching up there on the performance as they went on stage and just tore into actually when they Showtime, they came out and the first thing Kurt did was go, "Rape Me." And everybody just was like, and then he went, and then broke in and crushed It Smells Like Teen Spirit. But everybody's, they got caught out. And, backstage, of course, when you're working an event like this, Nirvana's the hot shit. You want to picture the band backstage. So we were hanging out around the RV with Nirvana's RVs. Everybody had their own RV. And, we were like, guys, can we get a picture? Can we get a shot? And they're like, what? And, because it's not, sometimes it's cool to do photos and other times it's like not cool. And you could see here how the guys are posing it up and making it really awkward for us. Instead of giving us that cool, hip rock band shot, they went for here we are. We're Nirvana. So that was Pauley Pavilion 1992. So that was the first time I got to shoot them. And then the next time was when they came to the VMAs again in 93. And this backstage scenario here was absolutely insane. Kurt and Courtney show up. They're with the baby. That's little Frances Bean there. That's her baba, her mama and her daddy. They come walking down the red carpet. Kurt with the glasses on, holding the baby bottle. Then backstage, this whole madness. I don't know if you guys caught this, but earlier in the week, last week, there was a picture of this tattoo. Do I still have this on my desktop? There was a picture of this tattoo that someone had gotten on their arm, and it was a picture of this RuPaul shot. Let me see. I think I actually put it in the trash. I put it in the dumpster. I put it in the dumpster. Let's see. A lot of crap in my trash. Wait, there it is. Boom. All right, let's see here. This is going to screw everything up. So last week, Courtney Love shared this picture. And I was like, what is this? Share screen. And there was a picture of this tattoo on someone's arm. I thought at first it was Frances Bean's arm because Courtney shared it. But it's a picture of Frances Bean and RuPaul and Kurt at the VMAs backstage. This epic shot I took. It's the first time that I know of that someone has taken a photo I took and turned it into a tattoo. Let me see here if I can actually find the photo. I think I put it up here. Yeah, here it is. Let's stop that screen share. Let's share this one. And here's the actual picture. I mean, the tattoo artist did a damn good job. I mean, I'm impressed. They fixed a couple things up, like Kurt's hair a little bit and Frances Bean's hair, RuPaul's hair. I mean, wow, that whole look, this whole thing. And Frances has talked about how much this picture means to her, which is pretty comical. But yeah, this all happened backstage. I didn't know what was happening. I was getting this picture here of RuPaul with the guys, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, the baby's in the shot. And I'm like, okay, baby in the shot, baby not happy in the shot. And I think here the pictures of mom coming to rescue her out of the picture are pretty classic. Let's see. Oh, here she is. Here it is, because of course I didn't do anything in order. Here's Courtney grabbing the baby going, oh, are you all right? Oh, Did you get traumatized? Pretty classic. But yeah, they rolled into the VMAs that day, and it was like all of a sudden everything kind of kicked up a notch. You know, it was a Courtney and her holding court backstage with Kurt. This classic shot of them with baby Francis, and here with Peter Gabriel and Sinead O'Connor, and Francis and Courtney and Kurt in the middle. Yes, Dave Grohl in the picture, really young. I see that, Jim Brock. Definitely looking young. All of them, all the guys. You look at Chris Novoselic now, he's bald. Doesn't look like the same guy. I'm bald. I don't look like the same guy either. Here's the nice pose shot backstage. And that's the family portrait. American Gothic, circa 1993 MTV Video Music Awards. This would be in September. It would be a couple months later. And this is with Danny Goldberg and his wife and Tom Freston and Sumner Redstone. You know, Tom, one of my favorite subjects of all time, and Sumner also, because I always knew I was having fun when I was working with the Viacom guys, and they really knew how to do it up. And back these days, everybody was hanging on everything that happened at the VMAs. They definitely were keeping it going. And Courtney, I just don't know where to begin. You know, I loved her first record. I thought Doll Parts was absolutely incredible. And but having to work with her when she was trying to be a rock star during those times, and this time with Kurt, she was definitely the, you know, he loved her. They had a beautiful baby together, and then they handed her off to RuPaul. I mean, it doesn't get more classic than this. I'm sorry. I mean, this is just amazing to have these images, and here's Kurt eating a chocolate chip cookie. Or he's eating celery dipped in onion dip, holding a razor and a chocolate chip cookie. I guess that's dessert. And he was going to shave his legs before the show. Yeah, and here it is. This was the 92 performance, which was somehow mixed up. And now we're going to go to Live and Loud. The last time that I shot Nirvana was at the Pier. I believe Pier 54, 32, 29, something like that. Pier number 9 in Seattle. And the original reason I went up there was actually to get Kurt together with Eddie Vedder, because Eddie Vedder was also slated to perform at the show. And there's no pictures. I haven't seen any photographs of Eddie and Kurt together. Maybe if someone has one, they could chirp in. But this is this was the last time that we shot them. This is supposed to be all the big Seattle bands, Screaming Trees and the Breeders and Nirvana and Pearl Jam. It was going to be a whole tribute to those amazing bands from Seattle. The Seattle Sound. It was a December trip up to Seattle to shoot this show. And we got there, and Eddie Vedder pussied out and called in sick. So it was no big deal because Nirvana did a full set, full show. It was absolutely incredible, shredding their instruments and ruining everything after. And I got one of the greatest sets of pictures. Some of this stuff is from rehearsals, and some of the stuff is from the actual show. So the clean stuff, like this, is from rehearsal. This is the famous shot, the angel wing shot, that everybody always relates the most to when they talk to me about my photography. You know, when I saw this in my lens, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I could get the angel wings on his back. I've used this lens, and I stand here and I get it to compress. And that's what ended up happening here. So we got a little bit of Kurt with the angel wings off, and I wasn't able to recreate this in the actual show. I don't know, for some reason I couldn't get to that spot. It was just not lining up during the show. He moves a lot more during the show than he did during rehearsal. He's all over the place. Here he is during rehearsal. Here, this shot, I actually got the angel wings behind Chris, and I got it behind Kurt. I got to keep the guys in the band straight. But you can see now the effigy and how cool it was, and what it really looked like the biology. Right off the cover of In Utero, they created those. Take on tour with them. They also had a string section on this show. There's the cellist. Came out for a couple songs. And I think this was the show where Chris hit himself in the head with the bass. I mean, he did that a couple times. He was always getting hurt at these MTV shows. But this is all 1994. This is all film. So everything I shot for this is on film. And the colors, the way it looks, incredible colors, beautiful. I mean, I loved film. I love the way it looked. It doesn't have the what the video has or the digital the video has. I'm very good at this talking thing. Here's Pat Smear on the end. There you go. Full band, full Nirvana band with the cellist and the Angel Wings right behind Chris there. Full crowd, everybody moshing it up. The energy in that place. I mean, this is a hot ticket. Nirvana was incredibly hot right then. 93, coming into 94. Kurt would be dead 4 months later in April of 94. Tragic loss. I heard people talking about him today on the internet, though. They said, do you think if Kurt Cobain was still alive, he would be putting out like dad rock and everybody would be, ignoring him because he wouldn't be relevant anymore? And I'm like, I don't know. That's it. There's the photo show. Ta-da! Do I have any photos of Jim Morales with Nirvana? No, I don't. I could look, but Danny was excited because he bought one for his book from me. Yeah, actually the tat photo credit on her ass, it says photo by Jeff Kravitz. So that was definitely written into the contract on the tat. But just an honor to be in the middle of history and to catch a tornado like Nirvana that came in. There were a couple that came in fast, burned so hot and bright. And next thing you know, they were gone. Amy Winehouse was another one that just came in and she was like, everybody, Amy, that album was so hot. Rehab, I mean, the song was so good, still so good. She just, knocked that niche and had that unique sound, that unique perspective. I don't want to go to rehab. Maybe she should have gone to rehab. Not exactly a great song. But again, do you think that these people burned out at the right time? Do you think that Kurt, maybe that's all he had in him was a couple records, and by 27 years later, he wouldn't be relevant anymore? I mean, it would have been nice to figure it out. It seems that a lot of our hot talent dies young. Jimi Hendrix, you could say the same thing about him. Think his fingers would be flailing right now. He'd be up there playing casinos. The Jimi Hendrix Review. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'd like to think we all get better with age. We all dial it in. But the one thing about music is what we find is most people are most creative before they're really successful, before they really hit it big. So they're hitting it at the hottest point, when they come out and they burn hot. And then sometimes they're never able to get back to where they were when they first came out in those first couple years. And they keep trying to climb up that mountain, not being able to relate, the music not clicking. And then they go away, go to rehab 3 or 4, 5, 6 times, and then come back and write their big hit comeback record or not. It's interesting thought. I mean, I would like to think that everybody could stay relevant, but we see what the truth is in music and how our boys, some of our favorite bands, are turning into dad rock because, what is the perspective? After a while, it's just raising kids. Kenny Palmisano. There you go. The AC Crew. We all cut our teeth down there in Atlantic City on all the bands that came through that lit us up. I mean, a band like Nirvana would come through. We would all go see that. We would all go see everybody that came to the Spectrum back in the day. Didn't matter really who it was. We just loved music and loved going out and seeing it, but especially Genesis. Whoa. We were going for Genesis. And yes, the Floyd and anybody that had the big shows and the lights and the whole shebang really turned us on back in those days. I miss it. I'm going to flip through these again just because I'm just looking at this picture here up on my screen. Yep, and Lane Staley. Yeah, I did mention that, Josh. We were talking that Lane died 19 years ago today. Kurt, 27. I'm removing myself from the stream. Both from drugs. I mean, that's Kurt. I mean, the gunshot to the head is not drugs, but what put him in that set, what got him into that mind, what got him to that whole place of wanting to kill himself was a drug addiction. And, we've lost everybody in that scene to suicide or drugs. Chris Cornell, Mother Love Bone. It's just endless. Someone commented that we got to take good care of Eddie Vedder because Eddie's the only voice that's kind of left from that scene. You know, you still have the guys from Alice in Chains making music. Oh, excuse me. I saw this biggie joint sitting on in my ashtray of Purple Punch Mendocino Grasslands. I'm getting into this outdoor, sun-grown, delicious. I mean, this is from last harvest. And we'll talk to these guys about how you stay in business all year long with weed you're only growing during one season. But Purple Punch is delicious. In New York City, welcome to the table. All my friends had their first weekend as legal weed smokers in New York. Here. I saw hard at the scrotum. I like that. The spectrum. 1979. I think I was a little bit after that. I saw Heart with the Cars. Yes, or was it Police? Police in the Cars. No, it was Heart in the Cars. Police, and I don't know. I have to go through all my old ticket stubs. I have all my old ticket stubs. You guys all save your ticket stubs. Yeah, so the Seattle scene, obviously, not a great survival rate there for bands. It, you know, I don't know what it was that sent them to an early demise, but, you know, it could have been living up there where there's not a lot of sun. I'm not going to say it's geographically based. Yeah, we were on a platform. We were actually on a platform next to the camera platform, shooting away at this as Nirvana. And I just remember burning through film and just being like, Mazer, give me another roll. Give me another roll. Slide film. The slides, I never even scanned in on this. I'll have to scan them in. That was at the end when Kurt's just like bashing his guitar into the floor. I mean, come on. Too good. Yes. Too good. All right. Yeah, I have a couple pictures of Lane Staley. Let me see what I got here. Because I shared a little one of him today. A couple of my favorite shots. Did I put them in the trash too? Of course I did. Of course I put them in the trash. They should be right here, though. Ba-na-na. Dee-dee. Oh, date modified. There you go. Ba-na-na. Ba-na-na-na. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. No, it should be dun, 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 dun. I can't find Lane Staley pictures on my laptop. I don't want to close the window here, which could happen. Let's see. No, they ain't here. Well, it's not here. I don't see them. Anyway, as you know, we're coming into 420 in 15 days. 420 is going to come up. I'm not even sure I'm going to be here. There's a lot of different things going on. I might be doing a show here in Palm Springs, or I might be going out to New Orleans. My friend Martin Shore to work on his documentary, Take Me to the River. A couple of days on that after I'm doing Atlanta. Trying to keep it all together, ready for the new vaccinated life, ready to move on. You can feel it moving on. Today or yesterday in the United States, 222 people died, rest their souls, but that's awful low number compared to what we had earlier in the year, where we're getting close up around 3,000 deaths a day. So we're down to 222 deaths in the whole United States. The numbers are going down. Things are opening up here in Los Angeles on April 15th. Everyone 16 and above will be eligible for the vaccine. The venues will open up at 25% if everything stays and we drop down to the purple tier, I believe. Orange, red to orange, purple. Or is it purple to orange to red? I don't know. I can't even keep track. It don't make any sense to me. But then we'll be in the 50% 2 weeks after that. So that would put us into beginning of May, 50% in indoor venues. They're thinking by the middle of May, we could be 75% inside And that would mean that summertime, we're rolling into this. We keep those numbers down. They stay down. We're going to be rolling into summertime with 75% capacity in our indoor venues, which means our outdoor venues will be at 100%. We'll be rocking this summer. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? I mean, have you gotten vaccinated, or is it in your plan? Are you ready? Sunday numbers are underreported. Well, I'm just telling you, 222 is what the report was, and it's a lot better than in the thousands no matter what. So I'll take that on a Sunday underreported, and we'll see what today is, but the numbers are down. I am ready. I'm not waiting around for someone to come around and say, you can go now. I'm going now. It's my turn to, well, I haven't actually been sitting around the past year on my ass. There were a couple trips down to St. John's with my friends, down to Mexico with my friends. Yeah, I got out. I went to Jersey last summer. High Sierra pulled. Did that happen? When did that happen? Today? Because I was just talking about how that's supposed to happen. July 4th kind of soon, though. You got to admit, even if everything happens, July 4th kind of soon. You're a lot of money on the line to pull the festival together and then have to pull it out at a later date, because you got everybody starting to plan and book rooms, and you got to start paying the bands. That's the other thing. You're going to have to step up and start filling out those bands. So, fourth wave coming, new double mutant. Watch out, the fourth wave's coming. God, fuck it, Josh. I am not afraid of the fourth wave. I think it's all bullshit anyway, to the most part. This fourth wave, this has not been, I know 500,000 people are dead, but you look at the percentage of people in this country compared to the amount of people that died, and then you look at other things on an app like Worldometer. Have you guys seen Worldometer? You should check it out, because it's, these kind of headlines, whatever, they want to stay in our heads. They want you to be afraid. They want you to stay on the couch. They're going to come up with all kinds of shit to keep you in. Get vaccinated, wear a mask, be smart. Even in all my travels and adventures, I did not come down with COVID, knock on wood, and I don't plan on it now that I'm vaccinated. I know it's not a cure. A vaccine is not a cure. It just mitigates the damage that the disease will do once it comes in. It's fine. I'm good. I take all my vitamins every day. I'm staying healthy. No, I haven't seen the Las Vegas live streams from what? Just the street? I know Las Vegas is going off. My friends are like, Vegas is back. Miami's back. LA's back. Yeah, we're all coming back. We all have warm weather. You don't have to be inside. I heard the casinos are incredibly clean, and you have amazing protocols inside. I talked to some friends who went to Aria, where my cousin works at Aria. So I spent a lot of time there. And, like I said, you can read all these headlines, but just imagine this. Imagine you never read the paper, that you never saw the news, that you just went along living your life. And maybe you got sick, and then you took care of yourself, and then maybe you didn't. But maybe you never hear about it. If you were living on some deserted island and everybody was dropping dead of COVID and you had no idea, would you drop dead of COVID too? Is that like a tree falls in the forest? If a tree falls in the forest, would you drop dead? I don't know. I mean, yes, it's all conjecture, but I'm not really sitting there. I'm not the worry wart. I never have been. I thought this was incredibly poorly mismanaged from the get-go. Thank God we have proper leadership in there now that's, at least getting things done. 4 million people vaccinated. I mean, every weekend he is kicking it up, and not by 10, 20,000, by millions, 2 million to 3 million to 4 million every week, adding another million on per day. So we're getting things done here in America, and I am ready. I'm ready to go. Oh, that's the High Sierra postponed. I can't read that. When are they postponing it? Oh, you didn't know about Nirvana. See? My thing was I wasn't even seeing the Dead. I didn't start seeing the Dead till I started listening to Nirvana. Because when you guys, John, were seeing the Dead in high school, I was like, look at all those fucking deadheads out there smoking weed and listening to that hippie crap. Meanwhile, I'm listening to Genesis and all the other crap. Eventually, I got into the Grateful Dead. Fortunately, it was years later, because I don't know which way I would have gone in my life if the Grateful Dead had come in earlier. For me, it was right on time. I was 30, 29, 30, 1992. Yeah, 91, 92. Started getting into the Grateful Dead. And, my life has never been the same since. I'm thankful I got into it when I did, and it led to me working with Bonnaroo and Fish and all the other great guys from Humphreys and all my friends out there in the scene that we love so much in the community that, it makes my heart grow just being involved with everybody and being able to go out and see all our friends. I cannot wait till we get to be together. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Fish. Everybody's like talking about dicks. There's all these rumors. Yeah, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. I'm pulling for my rumor, Atlantic City Fish on the beach. I don't see why not. If we're at 100% capacity or even 75% this summer, 50,000 people, 35,000 people on the beach. Sounds like a damn good time to me. Outside, I saw one thing saying we're not even going to need masks. An article saying we're not even going to need masks come Memorial Day. That the numbers are dropping so fast that everybody's, we did a good job keeping the numbers down with our masks, not in Florida and Texas and all these other hot places, but at least, California, the numbers are staying down. That's where I have to worry about. It's where I live, so we just all want to be together. I think we're kind of done, aren't we? Trying with the separation and not being able to hang out and see music and everything like that. So anyway, there's my little vaccination special for you guys. A little deep dive into the archives, my Nirvana archives there on the 27th anniversary of losing our boy Kurt Cobain. Where Nirvana with Pearl Jam and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Where was that? I didn't see that show. That was the show that was supposed to happen up in the Pacific Northwest. I still, like I said, haven't seen any photographs of Eddie and Kurt together, which I'm still waiting to see. I'm sure if they did a tour together, it'd been pictures, unless they were trying to avoid each other the whole time, which is entirely possible too. So I don't know. Anyway, tomorrow, the amazing Clem Burke from Blondie, one of the finest drummers in the land and a great rocker, and it's just very informed and lover of the Beatles. And wait, was this? That wasn't the Lollapalooza, was it? Because I remember Lollapalooza was Nirvana and it was supposed to be Pearl Jam or something like that, and they didn't play. Yes, I haven't seen any photographs of Eddie and Kurt. That was like my goal to go to the sports arena. I didn't make it down there. Interesting. Anyway, Clem Burke tomorrow. Wednesday, we're going to be with our friends from Mendocino Farms. Thursday, who the hell knows? I am dealing. LA Sports Arena. I'm dealing with the show one day at a time, just like my habit. One day at a time. Get vaccinated, folks. It's the right thing to do, especially if you want to get out there and expect to be able to go. Fauci said today there will be no passports. There will be no passports, but you're probably going to need to show that little card you got. Numbers are going up in Vermont, but the numbers of dead and dying, or numbers of sick, and are people getting healing from it, or is everybody just are the hospitals packed? What's going up? Is there room in the emergency room? I want to know. And I did see that. I saw Vermont was horrible. I actually saw Prague was horrible. Not the Prague's in the United States, but then Czechoslovakia is going back to like lockdown, like Iron Curtain kind of lockdown. And anyway, you shouldn't be in Vermont in the wintertime anyway, Mary Bog. It's time to, you got a snowbird. It's time to snowbird. You're old enough now to snowbird. You be working the Ferris wheel. Mary Bog, going to Bonnaroo? You going to Bonnaroo this year? It's on my dance card. Bonnaroo's on my dance card. Bonnaroo sold out of VIP tickets today. So you just got your GA tickets left. Case numbers up in 26 states. Yes, Josh. What about deaths? I want to know. I want to know how deadly this is. People getting sick. People are going to get sick. I got it. I know that. Not worried about the sick part, because I don't think this whole thing was about keeping people from getting sick. I think it was from keeping people from dying, right? Isn't that why we went into lockdown? It was all for the old people. If no dicks. Oh, so if there's dicks, I have to go to Bonnaroo. I mean, I love fish, but that's not going to be, if it's Labor Day weekend, it comes down to it. I want to be out there on the farm with my people. I mean, I do want to be at Dick's too. Maybe Sunday night I get on a plane. That's my dream, and fly to Dick's, catch the last show. But we'll see. The guys from Fish, Mike's saying nothing's going to happen till fall. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm sure it'll happen. All right, Josh, you're missing my point. I got the 555,000 dead reported in the U.S. We all know this. What I'm asking you is, right now, how are the amount of deaths growing at the same rate as the amount of people sick? Because if it's not deadly and these variants are coming in, and I'm not saying that everybody needs to die, but for us to lock down again, for us to go backwards from where we're going, it's going to have to be a deadly disease, because people just getting sick isn't going to be enough to stop our world. People get sick all the time. People do it to themselves, smoking cigarettes, alcoholism, addictions, like the friends we were talking about today, like Kurt and Lane Staley and Chris Cornell, depression. These are real things too. So the reason we went into lockdown and the reason we made these changes and the reason we stopped the fun, because if you think about it, we did stop the fun, wasn't because, people were getting sick. It was because they were afraid people were going to die and we were going to wipe out the older generation. The older generation now is all vaccinated. Everybody that wants a vaccine 50 and above in the United States should pretty much have one or be scheduled to have one. It was incredibly easy to get mine the other day. I saw my friend Jeff Ross in line with hundreds of people to get his vaccine the other day. So we're going to do it. We're going to be vaccinated, and it's going to have to happen. 277 reported deaths. So yeah, compared to 3,000. So the numbers are down 90%. How many people die by getting hit by cars today, or by bee stings, or by, drug overdoses, or by cancer, or by whatever, frostbite? I mean, look at those numbers. Are we going to stop everything because, people are dying of starvation or obesity? Look at all the people dying of obesity, and everybody's just stuffing their face themselves. Everybody put on 2 pounds a week during pandemic. People are 100 pounds heavier now. I'm sweating. The pits are up. Yes, people are eating themselves to death. And we don't stop things because 277 people are dead. We're on the downward way. This is going down. If you look at it, the trending average over the past 2 weeks, they showed in the LA Times every day, down 30% every time I look at it. So there you go. Have a little beer in the head. And I don't know if Jeff was roasting people in line, but it was a long ass line. I went to the Beverly Center and it was easy peasy. I don't even know why you wouldn't go. Yeah. Okay, Josh, I got this. This is all fear mongering to me because we don't know this. I've talked to many people that had COVID. It was like 4 days and I was done. So, like, yeah, you didn't get it, Kravitz? Everybody got sick. All my friends in Las Vegas, that's what they told me. Everybody got sick here. It lasted 4 days. Everybody was out. Nobody's having long-term effects from it. So in my circle, from what I've seen with my friends and the people that around me, I haven't seen too many people get sick with it. Knock on wood, I haven't seen too many people that I know die of it. And I don't see any people having issues with it right now. Maybe my friend George Pimentel's kid up in Canada, but Canada's having huge issues with the distribution of the vaccine as they are around the world. USA, number one. We went from the number one most cases to the number one most vaccinated. And can you imagine if Rump was still in charge? That would not happen. Very low here. Oh, there you go. Death numbers still trickling in as they always have. Very low here. Positive cases are mostly under 40, but are among the highest this whole time. Great. So people under 40 are getting it there, which is interesting. But vaccinating is good, and death numbers trickling, which is good. So, yeah, there you go. I'd be in California right now. It's beautiful. It's very nice. Actually, a little chill in the air, in the 60s, high 60s, 68. The weather's been a little bit schizophrenic here. But, I spent most of the weekend napping because that was the main thing I had from Johnson & Johnson. I really didn't get any chills, any fevers. I just found myself wanting to nap, and I wasn't sure if it was because I was smoking in the middle of the day and getting incredibly stoned, or if it was let's take a nap. Probably a little bit of both, because they were, instead of usually I'd take a half an hour, 45-minute nap. These were 2-3 hour naps. So they were definitely super naps, not your mini naps. There was no mini napping. It was Purple Punch. Yes. Legal weed in New York City. I couldn't be more proud of my friends in New York. They got to be awful happy. And Cuomo hopefully won't fuck up the tax thing like Newsom did. so there won't be as much black market, but I'm sure there's a ton of black market everywhere. Glad to hear it. You got to lose a couple pounds. As you can see, I'm down to a chin and a half, trying to keep my jawline, perky here for the summer. It's easy for me to pack it on, but I've been doing a good job on the bulletproof coffee, keeping myself healthy. Total vitamin. I'm on a total vitamin and supplement plan that's second to none. If you want my secret, let me know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did all my Nirvana stories, but hold on. Just because you're here and you asked, I'll put up a picture. I'll put up a picture. Oh, sorry, close the pictures. You're going to have to go back and watch. I did all my Nirvana stories. It was a ton of fun. And Zorn, our photographer right there from Abbey Road Wall. Zorn, back at work at Abbey Road. Have they opened up the wall? Can people paint on it yet? Yes, we had an earthquake this morning. At 4:30 this morning, I guess. All of a sudden, it was like, and I'm like, whoa. And when it first starts, you wake up, you're like, earthquake. And then you're like, oh, it's getting worse. And you're like, I'm not going to get up unless it gets worse than this. And it didn't get worse than that. So I never actually got out of bed. The rest of the house, I could hear everybody getting up. The dog barked a little bit. She's the guy that came to the bedroom door and ow. So yes, there was earthquake. There was earthquake action today. And there's been a lot. If I follow the CA earthquake Twitter feed, and you could just see how many are coming in, and all around Inglewood, Hawthorne, Marina Del Rey, just rattling away this morning. But 1.8s, we're not really feeling them. That was a 4. A 4 is like a truck ran into your house. Think of an 18-wheeler. You're sleeping in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden a truck runs into your house. So emergency snooze button, earthquake snooze. You get up and you do it. Yeah, well, the thing about Vedder, I was talking about it earlier, Vedder and Kurt, is that there's no photos of them together because I never got the two of them together. I don't remember seeing any pictures of the two guys together. Our buddy Josh here saw them in Long Beach on the same bill with Red Hot Chili Peppers. I didn't see that, but I did see a show, something like that, when they did Lollapalooza. That was fun. I saw Nirvana. I just went to the concert. It was a ton of fun. They were great live. So yes, the more Nirvana stories are all earlier in the show because, I can't keep people waiting an hour into the show to show the pictures. People they barely stick around as it is. I got to get to when the people are here. I got to stick to it. But we had a good turnout today. I was glad to see everybody. And, we had an amazing weekend this weekend, just recovering from the shot. And, I'm still recovering from the triple hernia. It's much better. It's past 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 3 days now. He said 2 weeks, I'm back to working out. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be working out for at least another week. And especially what I was doing before, I'm going to go for something a little bit less energetic. I'm not going to pull another triple hernia out of my ass. Yeah, that's a hot show, right? I got to go back and look that up and find the videos because I know they're up there somewhere. Anyway, tomorrow, Clem Burke from Blondie up on the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stay safe from the earthquakes and make sure you get yourself vaccinated, and peace, love, and happiness, everybody out there. Big hug and crack in the back and neck all together at the same time. I miss you all. This hugging thing is going to happen really soon. So get ready. I think it's going to be a giant freaking cuddle puddle when this is over. Everybody just like hugging it out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jeff Kravitz, 420 Live. We'll see you tomorrow with a great show. Clem Burke, truly talented drummer. If you don't know who he is, throw some Blondie on. You'll hear exactly who I'm talking about. Have a great night tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Jeff Kravitz signing off.